Hey, let's make a simple music loop. First of all, get LMMS. You can download and install it, or you can get an unofficial portable version, which I'm gonna use because this is a bit easier to deal with. Once it's downloaded, you just go to the location of the file, and you just double-click the file and press OK and press Next and press Install, even though it's extracting, it's not really installing. You can later move this folder around. Then go inside the folder and double-click LMMS Portable. If you press on triple oscillator here and press here on the keyboard, that does not sound nice. Let's go to Edit, Settings, and in Audio Settings, switch to, let's try SDL. And then we have to restart LMMS. Triple oscillator. Oh yes, now it sounds okay. For making a simple music loop, you have to find a nice instrument, which is here on the left in my presets. And most likely you're gonna find a nice instrument in Zyn Sub-FX. We're gonna go for a piano, specifically a synth piano. Alright, 40 binary piano, I guess is the name. We're gonna just drag it to where the triple oscillator is right now. And we replaced it this way. Here we can play around. Now we just double-click in this black field, and this opens the piano roll, where we can record or write the music. Alright, to make a simple music loop, pick some note that is on a white key. Probably something higher. Yeah, let's start with that. So let's just click while the pen is selected here in draw mode. Let's click it here and we can play it back. Alright, the next step is to add another note, which should be also on a white key for a simple music loop, but at least one white key further apart, so not here. That sounds kind of lame. Instead, it should be at least two white keys apart. Much better. And we can just go back to the same note from the beginning. And then we can go in the other direction. Or further down. Or further up. You can move up and down with this scroll bar or with the mouse wheel. Also, we can extend the whole thing by just adding more of these bars. And we can add some variation. Good enough! To spice this up, let's add another instrument. Let's just stop this with this icon. And now the task is to decide what instrument to use. Maybe... How about a guitar? No. No, 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 no. Yeah, we're gonna instead add something drummy. So let's go to my samples, which are over here by the note icon, my samples. Let's go to drums and listen around. Snare. Let's go to beats bassline here. Just clicking it opens the beat and bassline editor. Let's double click it here and extend it on the right end of this. Click and drag. In the beat and bassline editor, we're just gonna drag the snare in here. Let's overwrite the kicker. No, that doesn't work. So let's delete the kicker with clicking this cogwheel and then removing this track. Here it's a very similar principle. Let's just play it back and then click and click again to enable and disable. To listen to this and the piano, we have to go back here and press play here. Alright, and it just keeps playing. So to make this a loop, let's first right-click above the end of the green bars, well, where our music is. Right-click here. Now it's light gray over here as well. And let's enable the loop points. So right-click sets the out loop point. And if we enable loop points, it becomes green, and then it loops between these points. Let's actually make it double as long and duplicate this. I just Control and click dragged it. And let's add the beat only after a while. And this sounds too harsh, so let's add some effects. How we're going to do that? We're going to click on snare here, and we're going to go to FX, effects chain, enable that, add effect, type in verb, pick free verb. Actually, we're going to play it back here, so we can just check immediately. Go to controls, increase room size, increase wet level, increase damping, reduce dry level, increase width, reduce room size, play around with the controls basically. And combined. Good enough for a simple music loop. Now let's go to File and Export. The location it suggests to export to is very weird, so you should really be in control of where to export. I'm going to go to Downloads, and I have a folder made for this project. And I'm going to call it Simple Music Loop and save. And here we can pick which file format, WAV, perhaps OGG or MP3. WAV is uncompressed, so we're just going to go with WAV for this. And now let's see what happens if we simply export, because we might also want to set export as loop and export between loop markers. So let's export it like that. Here's the file. If we drag it into an audio editor, we can see the sound wave. This is not a loop, clearly. So if we play it back here at the end, so let's try out the other export options. Let's go to File, Export. So this one we're going to export as loop, WAV, and we're going to enable Export as loop, remove end silence here. Let's do that. Here it is. We can see it is already a smaller file size because it is shorter, because the end has been cut off. If we drag this into an audio editor, we can see the difference. The first one is longer, it has all this stuff at the end, and this one is shorter. So let's mute the one above, and let's now duplicate this and play it from the middle. Alright, one problem is, I don't know if you hear it, but there is a cutoff, because there's a lot of echo that keeps on going and going at the end of a song. And it abruptly ends in the version we just exported. So we're going to call this one Simple Music Loop as loop, and also export it between loop markers, and enable both of these and start. Let's play this solo. I don't think there is a difference for now. The reason why this made no difference is because our song, our track, is completely as long as the loop marker is. Use the standard export, combine it with one of the loop ones, because this way we know how long the song should be. See, this is the endpoint at which it should loop. So let's click here in the too long one, which has all this echo at the end. Click here and go to Edit, Clip Boundaries Split, or press Ctrl I. We can now delete the second track. Then we double click this section at the end and Ctrl X or Edit Cut. Then we go to Tracks, add new stereo track. Double click that and then Ctrl V or Edit Paste. Ctrl F, Ctrl Shift F to make it small enough for the screen. And if we Ctrl A and then Shift Play or Shift Space, I think you can hear that the echo at the end does not abruptly stop anymore, so that's nice. On the other hand, it starts with some weird echo at the beginning, so that might be strange. Anyways, we're going to use this, and to mix it all together, we're going to go to Tracks, Mix, Mix and Render. And we're going to go to File, Export, WAV. And we're just going to call it Simple Music Loop Fixed, WAV, save. And here it is, although quite big for such a short track. You can convert it with various tools to, for example, OGG, which would be nearly a tenth of the size, or MP3, which would be nearly a tenth of the size. Hope this was useful. Till next time, ciao.